Hey guys, HappyCattyCrypto here, and welcome back to the channel. So before we get any further into this, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. If you've got LUNC, consider delegating with our validator. It goes a long way in the environment that is Lunar Classic. So I think it's pretty obvious at this point. There's a pretty good kind of divide with the community. You've got those that want to burn and those that don't want to burn. And there's not really an in between of the two. There's a few and a very small percentage that are kind of on the fence, and we'll just go with the flow kind of thing. But there's strong points on both sides. But what we don't see is the acceptance. What I see is the people who want burning have always kind of gone for what the utility people want, and there's so many different sides to this when you really break it down. But there's one thing I think everybody needs to come to terms with is that burning's not going anywhere, especially when one of the leading exchanges burns LUNC. It's an accredit to what we're doing. It really kind of says to us, well, you're going in the right direction. You're going in the right direction in some way, shape, or form. We know, even though there's people that think Binance sell coins out when they're burning coins as well, and that just doesn't happen. I monitor their wallets quite heavily at this point, especially with all of my own tools that I have at my dispense now. But the burning, it's not going anywhere. And I think everybody's just going to have to come to terms with we're coming into the halving cycle. And I think it's better if everybody just kind of gets together and instead of going for all of these like really like crazy high levels and just trying to do it, I think there should be a more organized attempt at this from those who really, really like burning. Maybe get together and go through all of those phases that I explained of communicating with every aspect of this blockchain, and that includes Binance themselves. That's a really important aspect, and we don't want to annoy them to a point of where they're like, look, we're just going to stop burning because you guys are a nuisance. So there's all these different things when, if not done correctly, right, the people who love burning and want to see more burning could actually have the opposite effect. To pretty much summarize this thing, in effect, pushing Binance away. So there's a lot to take in, but there's just so many different people that are suddenly talking about burning. And I really just think it is because of the fact we're going into this halving event. The markets are starting to look interesting. Everything's starting to move up. And eventually, utility coins are going to have their day. Altcoins are going to have their day. The market will come to us at the right time. And I just think it's really important that we best harness the situation. And that's why I was saying, although I don't agree to all of these different proposals that are up, if there was a good one up for 1.2% at most, I would support it if you had the support of everybody kind of like around it at the same time. So we have got more of these weird proposals coming up for burning, which I don't really need to go over this other one that's come up. It's very strange. Poorly written, no commonwealth, just a really poor attempt, and it just doesn't help the people who are trying to burn coins. It doesn't help their corner, so to speak, because it just puts more and more aggravation on those that don't want to see the burning and those that want to see more well written and more thought out proposals, which is kind of a normal thing to say the least. So Commonwealth's being a little bit iffy bitty at the moment as well. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that, but let me know in the comment section if you're having troubles with Commonwealth maybe being slow, not loading at times, sometimes not wanting to log in either. I've been having these issues. I don't know if it's just me. So let's keep this moving forward. So we are coming up to the point of where Binance is going to be burning. We've got 2 days left of this month. Tomorrow, that'll be 1 day. Before we know it, we're on the burn, and hopefully it's going to be a decent sized burn. All we know is they're going to burn a substantial amount as always, and we always look at it as this, oh, they've burned 2.6 billion LUNC, but when you look at the dollar value of those coins, I think that's really what you want to measure these things on, and understand that this is a process that's going to take a while, and it's all about the journey is what you're going to make money on. So there's those different things going on. Luna, more specifically TFL and Chris Amani, have started talking a little bit today and saying they're going to be disclosing some details about the case and where they're at. And it's just a really peculiar situation now because you've got all of this information coming out of foul play and them using funds and doing backdoor deals with different kind of prime ministers of different countries and the aim to get to obviously where they were going to get to. And this is the apartment that they had purchased or they had been given for giving tokens to a certain person, the ability for them to go and sell those tokens later at $118 a coin. So it's all really peculiar. Can you really trust these people moving forward? I would say no, but that's definitely something everybody's going to have to decide for themselves and take into account all of this information that is coming out, what's going on with Do. The fact Do still is on the run and he's fighting extradition, I think is a really important aspect to take in, because still at this point, right, supposedly he's free to roam around Montenegro to do what he wants, go have a coffee, go have lunch, do whatever. But we've heard nothing from him online, which is very peculiar for DK. Now, what I think it is, he needs to be very careful about where he surfaces, what other jurisdiction. It's a very strange situation, but what we do know is these fraud charges, they're real. Okay, it's all been proven. So this is a very interesting situation for me as it's unfolding. So let's do a little bit of T&A. Let's go over to the chart and let's look at the price of Luna Classic, because I think this is an interesting time. So we've tracked Luna Classic for some time doing T&As, and what we look out for here is these certain patterns that play out, which lead us to these very nice pole and flag structures. And we go through this many times over. So what we're looking at back here is last year in October, around the 3rd of October 2023, we saw a head and shoulders pattern. We saw the Dragon Doji. We saw that very bullish movement, and we saw this substantial move, and we had a very similar pattern play out here again. This was around January 27th this year. So if we zoom in, we can see we've got that left and right shoulder playing out on that head and shoulders pattern, a Dragonfly Doji afterwards, and then breaking out into these pole and flag structures to then end up, I think this is, quote me if I'm wrong, but I think it's it's about a 200% move. So it's pretty good. Obviously not as good as that last move, which was more around from the doji to the peak was around 4x on your investment. So that's really good. So what we're looking at currently is this rising wedge pattern. And this is really important because what we're looking at here is the 4-hour candle chart, and we can see that there's a decent trend line forming. Now you would say to yourself, and your mind would say to yourself, well, Jay, I would rather see green dollar cost average symbols in here, and I would rather see bullish momentum signals. And I would say to you, I would rather see what I'm seeing here. This looks like a very good technical setup that's playing out. And what I'm now waiting for is a decent head and shoulders pattern, a Dragonfly Doji to pop up, something to tell us that a breakout is imminent. What Luna Classic is known and renowned for is doing weird breakouts that are based on absolutely nothing but myths, theories, and dust. And we're all kind of like looking around and scratching the floor like chickens as to kind of say to ourselves, what's going on? Why is it moving? This has always been a thing with Luna Classic, and it really does catch us at those moments when we're feeling lowest. And I think everybody's kind of feeling a bit low right now. You've got the meme coin sectors blowing up, but I think everybody needs to understand a lot of these meme coins are starting in micro cap zones. Luna Classic has never been in a micro cap zone. Okay, it's only ever been a very high priority, high market cap coin. And yes, obviously it's down to around $500 million now, but we've been up and way above that, to the point I think where we're in the top 20 at one point. So what I want to do here is remove the indicator and remove all of the different confusion. But if you are wondering what this indicator is, you can go and check it out in the links. It's 20% off for life at the moment with a 30-day free trial. So you can try it for 30 days. If you don't like it, you can get your money back. And it's really as simple as that. But honestly, loads of people keep saying to me, Jay, how do you keep getting involved in Peng, Ponky, all of these different coins that you're finding the decent alpha calls on, like When and catching the Pepe rides and all of those different things? And it really is using and utilizing tools like this indicator. So like I said, let's remove that. Let's remove all of the junk. Let's keep the TNA up there. And what I would say to myself is we're seeing a pretty obvious cup and handle pattern playing out here. And now we're starting to see the rise. We've come down, we've consolidated, we've bounced on a very similar support line where we've actually bounced here before, as you can see. So like I was saying, what I'm looking for is some kind of symbol on that day chart. So if we flick over to the day chart, we have had what I see as a failed doji. And we can see this just back here. So there's a very, very, very long-legged dragonfly doji. But what we're normally looking for, as you can see back here, is a confirmation candle, which is a far higher breakout than the candles before it. And we didn't quite get that until far later. So what I'm hoping is we're going to see another doji. We've come close. We can see that some of them are trying to form. Some would call this a doji, but I don't think that bar is quite thick enough on the zoom in yet. But these are all good signs because it's trying to produce something of consistency. But more importantly, we're bouncing each time on this trend line. And as you can see, those bounces are getting close together to the point of where we're starting to rise again. So I still do have my target in play and in place because although we didn't breach up to that target, we got very, very close to it. I mean, if you were to measure, it was only around 17% away from the target the second time. And I think that must be about around 5%. Okay. So yeah, around 6% the first time round. So I think this one could be a decent punch out. If not, if we're looking and kind of playing this stillman position, we could see a scenario where we come up and we bounce lower and then create a descending trending line. But I don't think that's going to happen because you've got those ETPs landing here in the United Kingdom. And in the next 2 to 3 days, 4 days, I think at most, you're going to start to see at least 1 to 2, maybe 3 of those 8 different ETFs for Ethereum roll out in the United States. So I think there's a lot to look forward to. I think there's some decent stuff going on in Lunar Classic, enough to keep, I think, eyes on us, attention on us. We've got positive news. We've got updates going on. There's talks about the paid per job, getting ready for that. So it's all exciting stuff because honestly, like I was saying with the whole TFL thing, this really is Lunar Classic's time to shine. And if somebody can create that paid per job system, which is just labor market renamed, we can dominate the sector before the Lunar community gets off of their backside, stops bickering and realizes they need to take control of the situation and does it all themselves. And I'm not saying it's a competition, right? But this is cryptocurrency and it's in everybody's market. If it's there, you should take it. It's like being a gold miner, right? If there's gold, you're going to go and gold mine. And in our case, there's so many gaps in our market and so many gaps in their market. We should probably go gold mining at this point. But let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know what you thought about that TNA. Let me know if there's any meme coins that you guys are investing in, what you're interested in, what you've been making gains on. I really, really want to know. If there's anything you want to see here covered on the channel, let me know in the comment section. I'll be sure to take a look and get some content up for you guys. So like I was saying at the beginning, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, hit the notifications bell to stay informed. And other than that, guys, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware, and I'll catch you in the next one.